Good evening and welcome to Pakistan Today News from our London studio. I'm Chris Taylor. We begin tonight with a strong accusation from Pakistan's military spokesperson, Lieutenant General Ahmed Sharif Chaudhry, Director General of the Inter-Services Public Relations, says Afghan border posts have been firing on Pakistani checkpoints to create diversions that allow terrorists, militants, and smugglers to infiltrate through gaps along the frontier. He warned that these infiltration attempts are closely tied to smuggling operations, including the movement of non-custom paid vehicles that he says may be used to transport illicit goods or even explosives. The ISPR chief added that Pakistan presented evidence during recent bilateral talks, evidence he says Afghan officials were unable to refute. He also called for a third-party mechanism to verify border security if Afghan authorities fail to take decisive action. For more on the situation and its implications for Islamabad's security calculus, we're joined by our correspondent in Islamabad, Sarah William. Sarah, what are you hearing?
Chris, officials here in Islamabad describe the border situation as increasingly fragile, with security planners concerned about what they call coordinated infiltration corridors developing along key crossing points. Senior military sources tell me the evidence presented to Afghan counterparts includes surveillance footage, intercepts, and ground reports, pointing to sustained patterns of cross-border facilitation. They say the request for a third-party verification mechanism is meant to add transparency, not escalate tensions. Government officials insist Pakistan still seeks cooperative border management, but warn that patience is wearing thin. For now, security along the western frontier remains on high alert.
Thank you, Sarah. In another hard-hitting message, Lieutenant General Ahmed Sharif Chaudhry has rejected remarks from the Indian Army chief, who recently described Operation Sindoor as just a trailer. Responding sharply, the ISPR DG said that if those claims of downing 7 aircraft, striking 26 sites, and destroying S-400 batteries constitute a trailer, then the full picture would be a horror film for India. His comments reflect Islamabad's firm stance against what it calls Indian propaganda and self-deceptive military rhetoric. Turning now to foreign policy, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Ishaq Dar says Pakistan is prepared to contribute troops to the proposed Gaza International Stabilization Force. However, he stressed that Pakistan will not participate in any operation aimed at disarming Hamas, noting that the country supports peacekeeping, not peace enforcement. Dar said government and military consultations are at an advanced stage, and a final decision will follow once the ISF mandate is clearly defined. Indonesia, he added, has offered 20,000 personnel, while Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has agreed in principle to Pakistan's participation, provided the terms remain strictly focused on stabilization. Back home, the Supreme Court of Pakistan has reaffirmed that the state bears an unequivocal responsibility to protect every citizen's right to life. The ruling emerged from the case of Zaryab Khan, who died in custody in 2020. While 2 accused agencies had previously been acquitted, the court upheld their dismissal, citing serious misconduct. The judgment underscored that illegal detention, torture, and extrajudicial killing, even in the pursuit of criminal suspects, are clear violations of constitutional protections and fundamental human rights. On the economic front, gold prices in Pakistan surged sharply today, mirroring gains in international bullion markets. The price of 24-karat gold jumped by 5,300 rupees per Tola, reaching 444,162 rupees, while the 10-gram rate also recorded significant increases. Silver prices followed the same trajectory, with both per Tola and 10-gram rates rising. The spike comes after global gold prices climbed by $53 per ounce, setting off a rapid upward movement in the domestic market. In regional diplomacy, Pakistan has been elected chair of the Eco Council of Ministers for the 2026-27 term. Deputy Prime Minister Ishaq Dar thanked member states for their confidence and pledged that Pakistan will host the next COM meeting next year. He reaffirmed Islamabad's commitment to advancing regional connectivity, economic integration, and sustainable development under the ECO framework. And finally, Sri Lanka is reeling from severe devastation after relentless rains and flooding triggered by Cyclone Ditwa. More than 120 people are confirmed dead, and over 130 remain missing. Entire villages have been inundated, with homes, bridges, and critical roads washed away. Landslides have compounded the disaster, displacing tens of thousands and cutting off access to large parts of the country. Emergency response teams are struggling to reach many affected communities as the government issues urgent appeals for humanitarian assistance. That's all for now. You're watching Pakistan Today News. I'm Chris Taylor.